So today I'm going to show you how to flip a thesis statement. The reason why we do this is because we need, as I was saying, the reason why we do this is because we need a sentence later in the essay that will serve as a transition sentence. If you recall, the thesis statement is found in the introduction, and in the essay that we're going to write, there are 4 body paragraphs that follow the introduction. The first body paragraph after the introduction is where we admit that the opposite side does have some arguments that perhaps should be considered. So we mentioned several of those arguments in the body paragraph directly following the introduction. After that body paragraph, the first body paragraph, in the second body paragraph, we have our first big argument for our side. Later, you have a third body paragraph with another argument for our side, and a fourth body paragraph with another argument for our side. This is the technique for the persuasive essay. So, because we're going to have this body paragraph about the opposite side directly after the introduction, before we start with our big arguments in body paragraph number 2, we're going to use a transition sentence. And it just happens to be true that the idea that we need to express here is the same idea as that which we expressed in the thesis statement. So we need a variation of the thesis statement, and that's what the flip thesis statement is. It's a variation of the thesis statement. It's a little trick that I call the flip it trick. We're going to move the contrast word. We're going to use the other style of contrast word, whereas in the thesis statement in the introduction, in this one, we have one of the contrast words that comes in the middle. And here's the list in case you don't remember. We've got the nevertheless, however, and nonetheless group. Those come in the middle. And we've got the although, though, and even though group, and those come at the beginning if you decide to use that style. Well, this person used the style with nevertheless in the middle. We're just going to change this sentence so that it says the same thing, but with although at the beginning. And in order to do that, we need to pay attention to the language here. And we're probably going to omit an expression that comes at the beginning when we have this style. We're going to start right here. All of this is going to be the same up until this point. So it's going to be although there are many, and I'll just paste it. Although there are many arguments in favor of keeping all forms of cloning illegal. And now we're going to use different punctuation. It's only with this group of contrast words that you use the semicolon contrast word and comma. When we use although at the beginning, we're going to take out the semicolon. We're not going to use a semicolon. It's only a comma. And then again, we're going to omit this contrast word, and the rest is the same. The rest stays exactly the same. So I'm just going to copy and paste that, and I'm going to change it to blue. This sentence, this flipped thesis statement, transition sentence, we will only use at the beginning of body paragraph number 2. So that means, just like the example in your manual, the topic sentence for body paragraph number 2 starts right here. And what you see previously is the flipped thesis statement. It functions as a transition. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. I suggest that you practice using the different contrast words. You can take any of the thesis statements that are found in the manual, and you can practice flipping them. When the contrast word is in the middle, rewrite them so that you're using one of the contrast words. It comes at the beginning, and then take the same thesis statement. You can take the same thesis statement and rewrite it again with a different contrast word from the middle. And instead of "it must be admitted," now you can say, oh, well, sorry, I made a mistake there. You can say, instead of "it is true that," you can say "it must be admitted." And that's just a different style that's common in my class when we use the kinds of contrast words that come in the middle. So this one that I had pre-written is really the same style as the first one because we've got a contrast word in the middle. We'll go back to that. See the contrast word in the middle? There's a special expression to set it up. Here's a contrast word in the middle with a special expression to set it up. We can change this one more time. We can flip it one more time. And this time we'll say, even though, and we'll copy from here to here. We'll paste that. We need a comma. And after the nonetheless, the rest is the same. And I'm going to change it to blue. This would be another flipped thesis statement. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope the technique of flipping a thesis statement is now clear to you.